program. Welcome once again. It's Thursday, February 19, 2026. We have a late start today. However, it's sometimes like that. Not easy. Remember, you can find us on YouTube. Just type in Dr. Joseph Haynes on YouTube at this time. And you should be taken to our live stream. Oh, I'm saying this right, which is on. I think they're streaming it. Should be. However, if you in Guyana, you can tell your friends and all of your family members and so on who have a television to tune in to channel 2 at this time, and we'll be on live. So go right ahead, set your phones, your tablets, your laptops, and whatever devices you have, your televisions. Welcome to our program again. And like I said, it's Thursday once again, and I kept wondering where the days are going. It seems as if I was just here doing a program a few hours ago, but it wasn't the 19th. It was the 12th. So I don't know. The days are really going by quickly, and lots of things are happening. I wanted to speak on a couple of subjects today, but I was somehow asked to speak on an issue that is very important, which is cardiovascular accidents, heart attacks, or strokes, so stroke. Because many persons are suffering today as a result of a stroke. Many persons are no longer here as a result of an aneurysm or a heart attack. I'm being told that Dr. Richard is waiting for the host to let him in. So my operator, if you're there, Dr. Richard is trying to get in and he's not. I think you have to open the gate for him to get in. All right, so make it possible for him so we could continue to discuss this subject here, which is very important to many persons, and it should be important to all of you because it is happening more and more, not only in our society, but in many societies. Only days ago, I was told I was screening someone here, and we were just casually talking about, different health matters as we were screening. And he said to me, he says, not in exact words, he said, "Doc, I don't know what is happening because my neighbor is gone." So I said, "Gone where?" He said, "My neighbor just died just yesterday. So I said, "Really? How old was the neighbor?" This man is in his 50s. And I'm talking with someone who's much older than that. And I said, "What happened to him?" He says, "Well, it's funny because only Sunday, I was talking to this man because he was doing some work on his house and he was doing some renovation and some little things to his house, and nothing appeared to be wrong with him. So when I got the call from his spouse that he died, I was in shock because I only saw the man yesterday." So he said, "Well, what happened?" He says, "Man was up on the ladder doing all sorts of things, and yesterday, and now the man is dead." I said, "Well, did he get somebody shot him?" He said, "No, the man had a massive heart attack. 50-something-year-old man suffered a massive heart attack, and he spoke with him just the day before, just hours before. and he looked like nothing was wrong with him. So I asked him, says, did he look like he was sweating a lot or anything? Did you notice anything unusual? He said, no. No, it was just like I know him normally. He's just same person, but I don't know. So I kept digging a little deeper. So did you know if he had pressure problems or heart problems? He said, I don't know. I don't know. So the thing is, many persons don't know their body status. They don't know what's happening inside of them. And cardiovascular accidents and uh, aneurysms, which is breaking an artery in your brain or in your heart area. Some persons are not aware that they have congestion in the vessels. They're not aware that their arteries are very narrow. They're not aware that there's a problem that exists inside of the body because they're not aware of symptoms, they're not paying attention to the symptoms, or they're not familiar or aware that they have an issue they haven't checked. You see? So many persons are walking and they're like, it's like a time bomb. They're walking time bombs. They don't know it's ticking, the clock is ticking, and the explosion is going to occur, but they're totally unaware that there's a time bomb that is ticking in their bodies. Why? Because number one, they have very poor or bad dietary habits. They're eating like there's no time, there's no tomorrow. They're eating all sorts of foods. This country has become a fast food heaven, a fast food haven, where we've got burgers, chicken, pizza, we got black pudding, we've got cook-up rice, we've got all the foods that are laden with fatty matter, which, because we're not increasing the temperature in our bodies to burn, and we're not cleansing our system to remove, we're having congestion that's occurring. It's almost like you have a pipe that is at your septic tank. It's connected to your sink and it goes into the septic tank, and the food that you keep flushing down the sink goes through the pipe, and you turn the water off suddenly. You finish sending the food down the sink, and because it clears the basin, you turn the pipe off because it's out of the basin, it's out of the sink now. So you forget that the food has to go all the way through the pipe into the drain or into the septic tank or into a sewer system to avoid coagulation or congestion, right? Let's just say that you're washing dishes, you just finished having your dinner, and I want you all to think, because this is what happens in a house. It happens in homes, it happens in restaurants, it happens in kitchens. You finish having the last supper, dinner, and all the dishes are in the sink, and they've got all the food particles that are left on it, all the oils and fats left on it. And you're washing the dishes, and before you allow the water to go through the pipes and into the drain, you turn it off. So you've got food particles that are trapped now in the pipe that is going out because you didn't allow the water to flush the food out of the pipe. The other thing is that we use more cold water or body temperature water to wash our dishes here. I want you all to think, right? You're washing down the sink, the oils, the fats, and all the other things that are congested types, the starches, and you're using cold water to wash your dishes or body temperature water to wash, do you think that temperatured water is hot enough to burn that fat right through the pipes? You think so? It's not. It's not, because the temperature that you need to burn that fat through the sink and through the pipes needs to be higher than the cool temperature you're using to wash the dishes with. You see? So I use that as an example to come to this point. Many of us eat the same foods that we wash off the plates with the fats that we use to make the food, to cook, all the pork oil and pork fat and chicken fat and beef fat and all the fats. We eat those fats in foods that are made either by you at home or by restaurants or cook shops. And our body temperature is 98.6 degrees. Normal temperature, 98.6. Okay? You need a temperature of about 120, 115 degrees, 110 degrees or more to melt the fat that you just eat or ate into your system. And your blood temperature is 98.6. So listen to this. The same example I used with the pipe and the food that you're washing down into the sink. That same thing happens in your stomach, in your digestive system, in your arteries. You're talking about 98.6 degrees normally, which you operate on as a human, versus 120 degrees, which is required pretty much to burn the fat out of your system, through your arteries, out of your stomach, into your intestine, out into the toilet, that's the waste matter. And then you want to absorb some of it into your bloodstream. And you're operating at 98.6 degrees, let's say 99 degrees. I want you all to think. Do you think that 98.6 degree that you're operating on is enough to move the fat that you just consumed through your arteries, out of your system, into the toilet? It's not. So what happens after that? Because you're not increasing your blood temperature, you are storing a lot of the oils and fats into your heart, the vessels of your heart, the vessels of your brain, the vessels of your pelvic region, your vessels in general, your arteries in general, the small veins that goes to your eye through your brain. You're retaining a lot of fat that you should be burning or not consuming into your system. And guess what? It becomes, those vessels become narrower and narrower as you continue to consume the barbecue, the sauce, the cook-up rice, the fried chicken, the pizzas, and all the things that you consume with the fats. You see? And you don't exercise. When you exercise, that is the reason why the doctor tells you to include exercise into your lifestyle. You think he's just saying that because he wants you to look fit? The doctor is saying that to you because he knows what you consume. He knows what happens when you're inside. So he's saying to you, you need to exercise to increase your blood temperature so that you can increase your metabolic rate, to burn the plaque and the fats out of your system, to save you from becoming a victim of a stroke or an aneurysm or a heart attack. I don't think you need to wonder anymore why it happens. We are losing more people to heart-related deaths or poor blood circulation-related deaths than even cancer in this country now. Cancer is a big one. Cancer takes a lot of lives. I was going to touch on that today. I was going to spend some more time on that today. But because of the lifestyle that we have, my friends and my brothers and sisters, we are digging our graves with our teeth. We digging our graves with our teeth, and we are eating ourselves into our graves. And you know what? Many of you cannot be saved. Even if you suffer with the heart attack and somebody comes and do CPR on you, they may help you, you may revive, and you may not. Chances are that you probably will not because of the congestion, the fat, the blockages, the narrowing, the junk that is in your system. And then when you come to the clinic here and we find that you're congested, some of you want to know why you're not seeing good, why your eyes are getting dimmer all the time, why you can't hear properly, why you're having all these things happening to you. You're getting pains in your chest, you're breathing short, you can't walk up the steps without stopping and panting for breath, you're huffing and puffing, and you're wondering why. It's not because you're told to change your diet, because we just want you to look good. We're saying to you to change your lifestyle, change your eating habits, change your diet, because we're trying to save you from becoming a victim of a heart attack, a stroke, an aneurysm, or a problem with circulation, with your vision. Like just today I was screening someone who was having issues with her eyes. And she's saying, but doc, I just did the surgery to remove the cataract. And still I'm not seeing good. My eyes are still blurred. Why? I thought that the removal of the cataract would allow me to see better. So I said, well, let's take a look. Let's take a look and see what's happening with your eyes. Lo and behold, when I screened her, the arteries between her head and her neck, both sides, left and right, were congested with plaque and fats. Plaque and fats. Plaque from calcification, fats from the food and the junk that is being consumed on a daily basis, and the fact that no exercise is being incorporated. None. So what is happening to you? The problem that you're having is not with your eyes. We saw that today. It is not the eye that has the problem. It's the vessels that transfer or that takes the blood and oxygen to the eye that's congested. You're not getting enough. And we discovered that she had anemia in the head. Anemia because of the poor blood flow to the brain. You think the eye is just the eye that is connected to a socket? The eye depends on your blood circulation and oxygen that goes to the brain. She was amazed. So she said, you mean I did the surgery for no reason? Well, you had a cataract there, so I mean that's okay. It's no longer there, but you've got to incorporate now a dietary change. And all the foods were listed. When she screened, automatically, because of the discoveries that were made in the body system, the device automatically programs the restrictive foods that you need to incorporate out of your diet, so that we can have the body help itself in removing the congestion from arteries and vessels. You need to, I think what needs to happen, and I'm not thinking, what needs to happen to us more and more, and I said it this morning to the audience that came here to see us. We need to spend less time looking at garbage on the phone and the tablets and the computers, and spend more time learning about caring for your body system. What is required to help you to not become a victim of certain things. And I can tell you, because I look at them sometimes, I see them. You have a lot of doctors on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok who don't understand, as we say, head from bullfoot about medicine, about the body system, that are putting a lot of garbage on the internet, on social media. I should say facial media because you're looking at it. They're putting a lot of garbage on social media that makes a lot of you go crazy and you do crazy things. Many of those people are not really qualified to discuss or to even state things that they state on social media. So many of you just follow social media and you end up in trouble. It's like GPS. Like someone said to me, and it happens, indeed, it does happen. I'm looking for this place and I'm following the GPS. I'm following GPS, and GPS take me to a dead-end street. The GPS take me to a dead-end street. Well, the GPS followed the satellite. The GPS works with the satellite, and it probably took it to a dead-end street or a cul-de-sac, because the continuation of that street is on the other side of the cul-de-sac or other side of the dead-end street. So the street is gonna show you the street, and you're supposed to find a place in that street. But because the street stops at the part where there's a cul-de-sac or an end where the road ends, and continues on the other side of a ditch or other side of a pond or something, you know. So sometimes the GPS is not always right. The GPS is not always right, but it's fairly right. It's really correct. But because of changes that occur before it can be updated on the map system, you may continue to follow a path that has not been uploaded. The new sequence has not been uploaded as yet. Okay, so don't follow everything on social media. You people need to start reading for yourselves more. You need to start researching more. You need to start not depending on drugs more, not depending on medicine to fix you. You know, recovery of your disease begins most times not even in your kitchen. It begins in the shopping cart. Because what you put in the shopping cart will end up in your kitchen and in your pot and in your stomach and in your belly and in your body. Because if you put the wrong things in the shopping cart, you're going to end up eating the wrong things, and the wrong things are going to happen to you. You see? So you've got to do more research. You got to study your body system more. Learn how it functions. Learn what makes the eye see. Learn what makes the ear hear. Learn what makes you prevent yourself from becoming a victim of an aneurysm or a heart attack or stroke. There are many persons I see today who are young, walking like if they're out of a movie or they're out of someplace else. They can't even walk, some of them, because they had a stroke and they're young. We are digging our graves with our teeth and we're eating ourselves into our graves. Pay attention. Don't depend on the doctor all the time to have to advise you to do the right thing. Read, educate yourself, spend more time learning what matters to your health. I mean, yeah, people say, oh, well, doc, you know, something got to take me. I got to die somehow. I got to, you know, yeah, we all are going to end up there somewhere. But we forget that many of us suffer. The suffering is not just the death, it's the suffering before the death. There are people right now, as I'm talking to you, who are begging for God to take them because they're in so much pain. There are people who are right now at the sound of my voice who cannot even hear what I'm saying to them because the noise that that they've heard, or they've inculcated into their lifestyles over time, got them deaf. The loud music, the loud noise that they make, which is a nuisance in the society, and the people who should be doing something about it or not, they may be involved in it too. The authorities may also be involved in it. The law-abiding, the people who should be enforcing the law are maybe part of it. So you cannot get them to correct the ills of that occurs with those people who are blasting the noise and deafening themselves and deafening other people, disturbing the peace. Many of them today can't hear because they bust up their eardrums. They deafen themselves with the noise, and when you talk to them, what you say? I hear you. And that happened because over time they keep booming the noise and the garbage, and talking about the garbage. Some of what they play is so filthy that I don't know how they as humans they can listen to that. Some of it talks so terrible about women, about curse, indecent language, and all of these things, and sometimes they have children in the vehicle with them. And that is what they feed in the youth, the young children, the siblings, their own children with on a daily basis. And that is where the society is now. And then we wonder, why is it that we have to not be able to say something? We can't say anything anymore to the little children. We're afraid to say something because they might do something that might curse you back, or might come and target you. The society has gone so bad now that people are not concerned anymore about what they eat and what they drink. The society has gotten so lazy that the women and the men don't cook anymore. The house spouse don't hardly cook anymore. They go and they buy something in a restaurant or at a fast food place, and they bring it home, and that's dinner. I had someone the other day who was so congested in his vessels. He couldn't, he was on the verge of having a stroke. And he knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, because I saw it. I asked him, so what are you eating? What are you doing to yourself? What is your diet like? He shook his head and he said, Doc, lately I've been eating at this place that makes fries with a lot of cheese. I don't want to call the name of the place. I don't want nobody to come after me. But he's been using a lot of cheese, or something that looks like cheese, that's full of fat and flavor. I don't even think it's cheese. I don't even think it's real cheese. It's a liquid that is poured onto fries or plantains and chips. And when I heard that from him, I knew. I said, you know what? You did it to yourself. You consumed over time poison, pretty much tar in your system, because you don't have the temperature to melt that in your blood. You're not exercising. You're not. My friends, you need to walk brisk at least 3 days a week for 20 to 40 minutes. Get in a sauna. We have one here, and we have it available. It's going to cost you a little bit to get in. But get in a sauna, a good sauna. A sauna that is one that will benefit you, and that will help you to burn the fat and the plaque out of your vessels, because you are not doing what it takes to do it, to burn it, and you're eating the wrong foods. You're killing yourself. You're doing the things that will get you into an emergency room. You're doing the things that will have you go to bed and may not wake up the next morning. You're digging your grave with your teeth and eating yourself into your grave, all because of your taste buds, all because of your laziness. You don't want to stand over the stove and cook something healthy. You don't want to cook anymore because the fast foods are available. So why cook? You think those people are cooking for your health? You think they care if you have hypertension or if you're diabetic? Do you think they care? You think they care if you had a stroke or you suffered a heart attack previously? They don't care. They're cooking so you could come and your taste buds will make you buy. You want to know where a stroke begins? You want to know where a heart attack begins? You want to know where an aneurysm begins? It begins with you. You or who prepares the food for you. That's where it begins. It begins in the supermarket for those of you who shop and cook the wrong things. And guess what? You're doing it to your children. That's the sad part. You are actually breeding patients for the hospitals. You are. Because you're preparing the foods that are congesting the vessels of the. You want to know why some of your children are not smart? They can't retain anything. The teacher tell them something now, and by the time they leave the school, they can't remember it. Their vessels are congested with plaque and fats from what you feed them. And it's not anymore that we have schools with the playgrounds that you could go and run and jump and do gymnastics, and we only have school athletics maybe once a year here. We don't have we hardly have the PE, physical exercises, happening in schools anymore. We hardly have it. Every Friday, we used to have PE. Every Friday. Every Monday, we had assembly, and you've got to go to a place, and somebody's preaching to you, reading the Bible or reading scriptures to you from different books, if it's the Quran or the Bible or whatever. All those things are abolished in the public system. They're not happening. Correct me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I'll apologize. But the society has gone berserk because we take the prayer out of school. It's not happening anymore, hardly, except maybe in some private schools. We take the playground from in the back of the school. We had them there. And if you go to some playgrounds now, you wonder why the cows are not grazing there. There's so much grass in the playground, in the play fields, that you can't play nothing in there. It's probably infested with roaches and snakes and rats. So there's no facility hardly. We got the national park in Guyana. Yes, we got some facilities that are made, but they only happen for games like football and cricket. We got the grounds that are there for the schools, but they are not in a state where the children can go and exercise to increase their metabolism, to burn all the junk that they're eating on a daily basis. And some of you who prepare foods to take to the schools to market to the children, very good idea, good thing you're doing. But you're not cooking the foods healthy enough for the children. You're not. You're putting a lot of MSG or Ag in the foods and you're poisoning them because that's what it is. It's going to raise their blood pressure. And many children have allergies to AG or MSG and they don't know. See? Some of you are frying everything in oils that are old. The oils, the oil is the same oil you use for the week. And you're cooking the food with the same oil and you're taking it to feed the children. What do you think is going to happen to them? They are going to also have the same problems with congestion in the vessels. So you are preparing the children for the devastated state that is occurring right now in the adults. It's happening in children too. It's happening in the younger and younger children because they don't exercise. There was a reason why we had play fields in the back of schools. I used to get licks for going home late. Why? Because after school, I go on in the back and I'm doing the parallel bars or the rings, or we running up and down, we racing each other, we playing cricket, we playing football. That used to happen all the time. And I used to get licks sometimes for that because I should be home. I should be home doing my homework. But guess what? Even when I did that, when I get home, my father used to make sure that we did our homework. Every night we had one before we go to bed. So never mind how late we play. When we get home, we still got to do the homework. How many of you do that now? The teacher got to be on your case for your homework. Many of you are on social media until you can't open your eyes anymore before you sleep. You can't wake up in the morning to go to school. I know. Many of you children and many of you parents have lost your way in parenthood. You do the same things that the children should not be doing, and the children are copying from you. You see? So don't wonder anymore why your family member got a stroke or they got a heart attack or an aneurysm. It begins in the supermarket. It begins in your kitchen. It begins from the fast food that you're buying. And the lack of knowledge. Because some of you may now be learning or understanding why these things are happening. You may now understand why. It's not too late. It's not too late. We see it every day because we screen people and we screen them from head to toe. So we see what's happening in the brain all the way down to the toe. And we can tell you what's going on. This is what the problem is. And here is where it is, and here is why. We do that every day. If you need to know, you can call us. The number is on the screen. You can call us and we will set you up for an appointment and you'll be screened and you'll know how close you are to a heart attack or an aneurysm, or why you're not seeing properly, or why you have shortness of breath. You can't even climb your steps without panting for breath. Some of you can't even walk. There's so much pain in your joints and you don't know why. Some of you can't even sleep proper at night. You can't. Not enough oxygen going to your brain. You can't breathe properly. Yeah. You're digging your grave with your teeth and you're eating yourself into your grave. Just try to analyze what I'm saying. Analyze it. You'll understand. It's not fancy. It's straightforward. What you eat is preparing you for the grave. What you eat is preparing you for a heart attack. What you eat is preparing you for a stroke. What you eat is preparing you for a broken vessel in your brain or your heart, an aneurysm. And I never forget the true story of a friend of mine that that lost his life behind the wheel. He lost his life behind the wheel. And I don't think that they really knew what killed him. Most of the people, if not all of them, didn't know what killed him, but I know. He said to me one day, he said, Doc, I gotta see you, I said, well, I'm here. I'm right in front of you. What happened? He said, man, I don't know, but I'm not able to walk further. Every day I can walk less and less distance. Why? Why is that so? What happened? He said, man, I can't breathe as much as I used to. If I climb the steps, I gotta stop and I'm panting for breath. I said, boy, listen, you need to come let me screen you and see what's going on. Because that don't sound good. I can find some time, Doc. I can find some time. I saw him again. He says, I'm looking for you. What happened? I can make some time, Doc. Busy bad. Okay. You breathing any better? No, it's getting worse. Okay. One day, he was on vacation, and one day, he went driving to take his child to school. And on his way back home, he had an accident. And this accident was not an ordinary accident. He had his foot on the accelerator all the way down and couldn't stop the car. The car couldn't stop because he has accelerated full all the way down. And he crashed and died. So I inquired, he says, how did he die? What happened? I am just playing dumb. So Doc, nobody don't know, but the man just, like the car just accelerator went down and this man just fly into this thing and crash and die. Okay. You know what happened to him? I know what happened to him, but most people don't know what happened to him. He suffered cardiac arrest at the wheel. The body system that he should have taken care of, that was failing him, failed him to the point where he couldn't breathe and he had a heart attack. I know that. They didn't do an autopsy on him. They should have. I asked the family to do an autopsy. They didn't do it. They said he died by accident. But I know he died from cardiac arrest. He had a heart attack. Because you just don't have your foot good on. When they found him, the foot was all the way on the pedal. Pedal was all the way to the floor. And he was stretched out when they found him. Common sense should tell them that something happened that causes man to have his foot all the way down on the pedal. He suffered a heart attack. Had they done an autopsy, they would have seen that that's what happened to him. You see? But it's negligence. Negligence on his behalf. Because I would talk to him with his diet, because every time I see him, he's sweating. It's perspiring. That's a sign. Shortness of breath. You can't breathe. You're breathing shorter and shorter. That's another sign. You're losing your vision. That's another sign. Your heart palpitating. That's another sign. You're getting cold sweat. Another sign. Stop and investigate. Visit a physician. If you don't want to come here because of whatever reason, visit some place where you can get a right answer, because a lot of places they don't give you the right answer either. Find a place or a physician or a clinic or somebody who can address your symptoms and not just let the symptoms be you. Don't address the symptoms. Let them address the causes. Leave the symptoms alone. Address the cause. And listen, ask the doctor. Don't be afraid to ask the doctor. Doctor, tell me, why am I sweating so much? Why am I not able to climb the step anymore? Why? Why am I having shortness of breath? Why? It's not happening like normal. It's abnormal. It wasn't always like that. Let him explain to you why. Don't be afraid to ask him. He has a right to tell you why, not just to write a prescription and send you home because you're not being helped that way. You need to know why so you could make the changes. Because something is happening that is not normal. You see, when you come here to this facility, you have to spend some time because we take our time to try to get you the right answers. This is not an ordinary clinic here. We don't play here. We address causes here. We leave symptoms. If it's pain that is unbearable, then we may address the pain temporarily while we address the symptoms. Because what you need is answers. You need to know the why. Why am I experiencing this? Why? Ask your doctor why. Because it is important for you to know so you can make the adjustments. If you don't know, then you just be another victim sooner or later. See? You want to stop a heart attack? And the other thing that needs to happen here is that more people need to learn CPR. More people need to learn what to do to restart somebody's heart if it fails. At least make an attempt to help them. The average person in our society, more than the average, don't know to administer CPR. Some of you don't even know what CPR means. The first thing you should do is Google it. What is CPR? Can you describe to me what CPR is? Because if you know how to do CPR, you might be in a position at some point in your life to save the life of your own spouse or your own child or your own brother or sister. It used to happen in the past. I know they still have classes available at the Red Cross and so on, but it's not talked about a lot anymore. More people need to understand how to resuscitate someone if by chance they happen to suffer a heart attack. I think that there is more idle that's going on in our society now than ever. More persons are idle in our society now than ever. Why? Social media, internet. It's a good thing, I mean, those could be good, very valuable facilities. But you got to use them correctly. Use them for the right reason. Stop scrolling and looking at nonsense, things that you cannot benefit from. Stop making noise, disturbing the peace and destroying your ear and your brain, because the noise you make and the language, the vulgarity and the silliness and the stupidity that's in the noise that you're making goes into your brain, idiots. It goes into your brain. It goes into the brain of your children. And some of you can recite the garbage and don't even know what it means. I was fortunate to experience something that changed the way I see music. Okay, a long time ago. I was exposed to a situation where a record was played in the reverse. The record was played in the reverse. Yes. And when it was played in the reverse, the true meaning of the song was revealed. Believe it or not. I challenge some of you, if you have the facility, to play some of the garbage that you listen to in the reverse. And then you will see the trash that you're putting into your brain. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to play some of it in the reverse. The trash goes into your brain from the way it is being, it comes out. And you call it music. I am certain that most of the musicians that call themselves musicians today, most of the DJs and most of the idiots that are playing garbage, if I put a music sheet in front of you, it's like, as we say, gibberish. It's a foreign language to you. You don't know what, you have no idea about music. You can't read a single note. And you call yourself musicians. You know what is music? You need to understand music. You need to Google it maybe. Look it up in the dictionary. Music, the meaning of music. And then you will see that what you're listening to is trash. Most of it. Trash, garbage, noise. It's no wonder our society is the way it is today, because we're feeding garbage into our brains. We are feeding junk into our stomachs. We digging our graves with our teeth and we eating ourselves into our graves, my friends. We're doing it to ourselves. I know today I probably hit some notes in your ears that were unexpected. And it's just the tip of the iceberg. Some of you are wondering why you're suffering with cancer. Some of you are wondering why you're suffering with prostate problems. You're wondering why you're suffering with diabetes and hypertension. You know, some of you are misguided, seriously misguided, by many physicians out there who think they're physicians. And you're suffering more and more because you're following them. And they know really nothing about medicine, many of them. Spend more time learning. Before you pick up something from the supermarket, look at it. And you start questioning yourself, is it going to do my body good, or is it going to do my body bad? Is it going to do my children any good, or is it going to do them bad? Is it going to help, or is it going to hurt? Start thinking like that. Before you put it in your mouth, ask the question, is it going to help, or is it going to hurt? I'm not saying that once in a while you don't stray away and have something that is tasty, that is not well made or properly made. It's going to happen. We all are humans. We're going to do it. I'm not perfect myself, but I'm aware. It's a difference when you're aware and when you're not. When you're conscious, when you know that I'm eating this thing and I really shouldn't be, or I'm drinking this thing and I really shouldn't be. When you are aware, it's a difference than when you're not. Yeah. Become more aware of what is happening to your bodies. Become more aware of what you're consuming. Become more aware of who you go to look at you. Because I am telling you, many persons out there who are dressed in uniforms that should be helping you are angels of death. They're not really out there to help you. They're not really out there to help you. Seriously. They are there performing a task that they know. That's what they were taught. Some of them are not even students of lessons to have anything to do with medicine or nutrition or nothing. You know, many persons who attend you have no clue about nutrition. have no clue about nutrition. And they're trying to guide you. Oh, don't eat pork, or eat it once a week, or don't eat it today, eat it tomorrow, or a little fried chicken once, fried chicken every day is okay. You know, you can eat. You just come out of a stroke. Get some fried fish, and some. You don't eat too much pastries, but eat. You just come out of a stroke, and they're advising you. Yeah, you see. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful who looks at you. Be careful what you tune into, because a lot of it is garbage. And you're feeding that garbage into your system. You know what they say? Garbage in, garbage out. See? We may not be the perfect clinic or the perfect doctor or doctors to go to, because it's three of us that work for now. But I tell you what, we care about you when you come here. We look at you because we want you to be better. We take interest in your health because that's what we do. That's what we teach, and that's what we practice. You see? So when you come here, you're walking into a situation that wants to make you better. You're just not a number. You're not just another number here. And some of you need to be more patient when you come. You need to be, because it takes time. It takes time to get to the bottom of things. It takes time for you to recover from what is wrong with you. It takes time for you to understand what is happening to you, what you did to yourself, or what someone did to you. It takes time. And we take our time here. We don't rush you. We take our time. You see? So when you come here to see us, plan to spend some time. And here is the first come, first serve. Unless there was a situation where you were told to come at a certain time, which is very rare. It's not often. And when you come with peace. Don't come with war. Because we don't like it here. We don't like noise. We don't like quarreling and fussing, and we don't like that. If you come to this environment, it's a peaceful one. Because healing begins in the mind. And if you're confused, and if you're noisy, and if you're obnoxious, don't come here. Don't come here, because you need to go someplace where they will tolerate you with that. We wouldn't tolerate that here. Someone said to me, this is just yesterday, Dr. Haynes, I'm at peace. So what do you mean? I'm at peace now because I felt a peace when I walk in here. I felt a level of peace, and I felt like I needed to be here to know this. Now I know. Now I know why. Yeah. Now I know why. Most persons who walk out of here that pay attention to what is happening here, in their own mind say the same thing. Now I know why. Yeah, because that's what we do. We try to find the why. And then when you find the why, you will know how to correct it. And you will know what to do to help yourself to correct it. Got it? I'm sorry Dr. Richard didn't get to come on today. I don't know what happened, but he'll be on next time. So I want to thank my operators. Thank you for watching and participating. Listen, you can call in on this program, okay? But for now, I got to say so long to you because time's up. Until we meet again, God's willing, next Thursday, Dr. Haynes saying good night. God bless you. And don't forget, you can go on YouTube and you can just put in Dr. Joseph Haynes or Save TV Channel 2 and you'll find us there. And you can play back some of the programs. That way you could learn. And tell your friends and relatives, tune in every Thursday between 6 and 7. Okay? Dr. Haynes saying so long. God bless you. Good night.